children, we are dealing with the chapter, the present tense. In that, you have already learned that we have 4 different types of present tense: the simple present, the present continuous, the present perfect, and the present perfect continuous. Today's lesson deals with the 3rd form of your present tense, and that is the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense, children, is a tense that joins the present and the past together. An action has taken place in the past, but the effect or the results of this action is being shown in the present. Look at the first sentence. In the simple past tense, you have, I lost my book. So this book may have been lost yesterday or day before or year, a year ago, and maybe you found it today, right? But in the present perfect tense, I have lost my book does not mean the same thing. It means that this has happened in the past. You have lost your book quite some time back. And at this moment, when we are talking about it, that is still true. And the book is still not found. Okay? On page number 80 of your textbooks, you can read the sentences, Palak has found the keys. So this is a true statement, right? Palak had lost her keys. At this moment, she has found them. Mary has cooked dinner. So the task is finished. She had begun it in the past. And right now, when we are talking about it, her dinner is cooked. Okay? I have finished my homework. You had begun your homework quite some time back, earlier in the day. And at this moment of speaking, you have finished your homework. So these kinds of sentences that tell us about actions that were begun in the past and completed before the present time are said to be in the present perfect tense. Now children, you need to remember that there are certain rules from which you can form your present perfect tense. They are in the positive statements, the questions, and in the negative statements. Alright? So here is your first one, the positive statement. When you have singular nouns like the name of a person, or he, she, or it, to that we add a helping verb, has. And to that we add a verb in the past participle, generally with an ed at the end. Alright? For example, he has prayed. Okay, so pray, pray is the present. So prayed, prayed becomes the past participle form of the verb. Okay? Similarly, number 2, when we have plural nouns, or when we have I, we, you, and they, in these places we do not use has. Instead of that, we use have and a past participle. Okay? Please don't get confused. Though I and you are singular, still they will not use has, they will use have. Okay? Look at the following chart. He, she, it, and singular nouns, they use has plus the past participle. He has done the work. Prem has done the work. It has eaten. Right? Okay. Number 2, in the plural nouns, in I, you, we, and they, we use have plus the past participle. We have done the work. They have done the work. When we have questions, then when we are formulating our questions in the present perfect tense, then we will use have or has right in front. To that we add the noun or pronoun, and to that we add the past participle. Have they eaten? Has she eaten? Has John eaten? Have I eaten? Has he prayed? Okay. And children, here you need to remember one thing. In questions, okay, this I have not written, but please be alert and listen. When we have not in the negative, okay, supposing a question is in the negative, so the have not will not be haven't. Has not will not be hasn't. It will always be have not and has not. In the negative statements, on the other hand, we will use the nouns or pronouns. Okay. To that we will add the has or have, the helping verb. To that we add a not. And again to that we add a past participle form of the verb. I have not prayed. He has not surprised me. Okay. She has not eaten. John has not eaten. I have not eaten. Now, where are the present tense, perfect tense used? The present perfect tense, children, are used in 4 different areas. The first one is when an action has been completed in the immediate past. That means it has just happened at the moment of speaking. It's already happened, right? It's already happened. But right now, as we are speaking, that action has been completed. Salil has just opened the door. He has bought a pair of shoes. Reena has just finished her food. So in all these, okay, I knocked at the door and someone calls me up. But at that moment when I pick up the call, Salil has just opened the door. He was in the shop. At the moment of speaking, he has bought a pair of shoes. He has just finished the action. Reena is supposed to go out and play. Her friends have come. She has just finished her food. Number 2, when we need to express past actions whose time is not mentioned and it is not definite. Alright, that means that an action has taken place. It has taken place many times, but it has not got a specific date. You cannot say this many years, this many times. Okay, then we use our present perfect tense. They have known each other for years. They have known each other maybe since they were in kindergarten, and now they still know each other. But how many years has not been said. It could be 2 years, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. I have been to Japan earlier. Maybe last year, maybe last month, maybe last week. Okay, but when we are talking about it, it has not been specified. We have discussed this issue several times. So this issue had been discussed before and is still being discussed at the moment also. Okay, and it has been done many times, but how many times has not been specified. Thirdly, when we describe an event that happened in the past and its effect is in the present, it's happening, it's affecting us here now. Okay, the children have made a mess in the kitchen. Okay, so that action has already been done. They have already dirtied the kitchen. Now they have to clean it up. So the present moment is when they have to clean it up. He has started a new job. So he has just joined a new place. He has started working there. Maybe from yesterday, maybe from last week. Alright, so maybe now he has to work harder. Maybe he is happier now. I have missed the bus. I was running for the bus and I missed it. It's already happened. But what is the repercussion? What is the effect in the present? What is the result? I will be late. So in cases like this, when an action has taken place, but the effect is on the present, then also we use the present perfect tense. And lastly, when we need to show an action that started some time ago and is continuing up to the present moment when we are talking about. Then also we use the present perfect tense. And in this case, we use it with since or for. For example, the boy is very hungry. He hasn't eaten for 8 hours. Okay, so for 8 hours he hasn't eaten a scrap of food. The monument has stood here for more than 100 years. So it was built a long time ago, more than 100 years ago, and even now it is still standing. She has sung in this band since 2015. So that is 5 years ago. That's when she joined the band. And even now she is still going strong with the band. So in cases like this, we use the present perfect tense. When do we use for and since? For refers to a period of time, a definite time. Alright, she has worked here for 6 months. So that could be 6 months and 2 days, or it could be 5 months and let's say 20 days. So roughly 6 months, okay? But since refers to a point in time. She has worked here since March. So if you count back, then March till August is exactly 6 months. So then that is more definite. That is a fixed point in time. So in such a place, we use since, and for a bigger period of time, we use for when it is not exactly very specific or very well pointed. So that brings us to the end of this lesson that we are doing today. Please go through the chapter, page number 80 in your textbooks. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to connect with me. Thank you, children.